I can barely hear you in my headphones.
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
What do you mean well?
Because they're proximal. You got to get right up on it.
I
God dang, I'm not loud in my ear.
Give me a second. My God. Ugh. Headphones really jock my vibe, brother. I was saying I can barely hear you, Lucius, not myself.
The music is really loud. Is the problem, actually. I think with the music,
Yeah.
I always forget to save to the template that channel 1 is supposed to be like a -20. So we're probably getting fried right now.
Yeah, I'm actually actively turning it down. Absolutely.
We're probably getting, I mean, relatively speaking.
Oh, that's much quieter.
Yep.
Whoa.
Guys, welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. We want to start like we do every week by reminding you to check out Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois. That's CATTYSHACKIL.org. You could also find them on my website, jacobv.com, JACOBVI.com. New stuff happening there all the time. Every day when I open up Google Chrome, I have my website, the YouTube, the Opus clip where we get all the clips for the socials. I have all these things happening every morning. So stay tuned, because it's not like, like somebody forgets about a website. Like a website gets abandoned.
Yeah.
That's not happening here. I got a new QR code. I got a new link tree. I got to put Caddyshack on the link tree. I'm glad you said something. And patreon.com/JacobV is the only way to support this show financially. I'm shooting more content tonight at Platypus. Tonight with Blinded by Stereo.
Content.
It's a different set than the last time we were there. The Patreon, you get all kinds of exclusive stuff from me. A lot of concert footage I shoot myself and things like that. And it's the only way to give us money directly. With me today, Lucius is back, but also Emma.
Hi.
Sheer Hair on Instagram. Longtime friend of the show. If you haven't listened to our trilogy we did, it's in the Smithsonian.
Those were good episodes.
That's the thing. We were on fire. That's why I said, let's run it back 3 times in a row.
Are we going to do Pod by the Pool again this summer?
Yeah, I think, because especially now that I'm going to have the baby, I can't be places that aren't baby friendly. So if I could just go, and we'll have help.
We'll have help.
Because my aunt lives right down the street, and she's unemployed. And then
Is she retired? Is it like a...
I guess you could call it retired.
Cool.
She's more of a, I wish a motherfucker would right now. That's more her stance on the economy.
I feel that way too.
She's a very successful and intelligent widow.
Successful, intelligent.
So she's just rediscovering herself, and she'll be with us by the pool, where we'll probably be doing the pods some of the summer.
But are usually Patreon exclusives, right?
The pool, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we did a couple last
You
summer.
You gotta get on Patreon to see me.
Yeah, if you want to see me,
sunbathing.
if you want to see my shoulder hair, it's patreon.com/JacobV.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just usually me floating in the background.
I love that.
Stoned and yelling out whatever thought comes to mind.
Yeah, that was crazy last time, because we had Kyle Rittenhouse and he was on trial last time we did one of those.
Really?
I think that was then. The first time we did that, maybe?
Maybe.
It's like a floating gab.
We did have a good Funyun
like
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a fun...
And that's the thing, too. Like, the nature of this show, it's helpful when I have, somebody on that, we're just going to talk like this anyway.
Yeah.
Because, I've interviewed people that I really didn't know, and they don't like it. The people that I'm interviewing. I always feel like,
They don't like what?
They don't really come with the enthusiasm, especially when it's remote. Interviewing somebody,
Dude, it's hard.
You can't feel
it's
the
really hard to
energy.
be yourself.
I really got, because I need them to smell me.
Ugh, that's
If
going
they
too
can't,
far.
if they can't smell
I can
me,
only
then
smell my beautiful
But here's the
candle
thing
that I made for you.
I have a genetic These candles are lovely. Emma makes these. You can get them from her archersapothecary.gov.
Not .gov. I do have the .com.
Oh, good. I saved
got it.
the
I just
.com.
I need a website built.
Oh, I could do that.
Holler at me.
Oh, I'll do it.
Okay.
Oh, honey, I could do it. I could have it up by Monday.
Hey, where's that laptop?
Oh, it's like right there. It's right there. I'm looking right at it. And
I could build my own website if I had that laptop.
no, but if you but I do that all the time now. I'm working on
Yeah.
websites every day now.
Cool.
Between my own and then the guy that I do work for. Sometimes he's got He's got 3 websites.
It's so vague.
No,
That's all the information you're going to
the
give.
guy. I don't want to.
guy?
The guy?
The guy.
Oh.
And he has 3 websites, and he doesn't even know how to open one. So, and he's such a bipolar delusional narcissist that he's not even going to listen to me talk long enough to get this far into the show. The times where I'll talk candidly about him has moved earlier and earlier in the show. Because I can't even finish a sentence on the phone with him, much less him get, 4 minutes in
Yeah.
to the hit St. Louis podcast, Jacob V. Weekly.
I mean, statistically, when I'm on, they are the best watched podcast.
Yeah,
So.
that's why, we got to
saying.
fluff the numbers. The
Because
clips have been doing really
I promote
good.
it, and people want to hear what
That's
I
what
have
I
to
told
say.
everybody. I said, hey, I can't. I had people reaching out to me, say, hey, can I be on the show Friday? And I said, no, we're bringing in the fluffer.
We got to get our ratings up, guys. We got to get her on.
Yeah, it's look, it's sweeps week.
Sweet.
Man,
Sweep,
that
sweep.
nobody gives a shit about that shit
Sweep,
anymore, right? That's
sweep.
crazy. So my thing is, I need Google Docs on this phone. That's why I keep looking at this. I don't need this.
Well, this is my phone. What do you need? Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't send it to me beforehand. Zero preparedness for this.
No, we're good. You have notes.
I have no notes.
Okay, good. That's what I was
I have
hoping.
no talking
But
points.
I want to reflect on a couple of things.
Okay.
We mentioned people have been asking me about this because we made clips about this from the show last time. That I have a friend who is an interdimensional channel and an Akashic Records reader. Mm-hmm. When I say friend, I mean I met her in college. I haven't seen her since. And I think she lives in Nashville.
Do I know her?
No, probably not.
Okay. What about it?
So, do I need to worry about any of that?
Do you like? What do you mean?
Like,
On what level?
I just think about the stuff she says all the time.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if she has the authority to occupy that much of my space.
Absolutely not.
Okay, good. See, this is good.
No.
Interesting.
But I mean, also that's all new age shit.
So, what are the Akashic records? You don't fuck with the Akashic records?
I don't know enough about them, but I know that there are enough people that talk about them and also white supremacy dog whistles in spirituality in the same breath that it's not something I'm interested in. But it's essentially a form of channeling where you are able to access the universe's records and
like genetic memory, like your ancestors'
Like
data,
code.
your
Yeah.
ancestors' metadata.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like it's the matrix for your spiritual history.
yeah.
The Matrix for my spirit.
It's the second time that I've spoken about the movie The Matrix in the last 24 hours.
No, you know what?
and
I'm so
upset
mad.
about it.
I am
I
so
don't wanna
mad
hear
because
about it.
people overuse that term.
Yeah, and
all the time now, and also
it's not real. It's not real, guys.
they don't
It's not
use
real
that.
life.
They don't use that term that much in the movie even.
No.
But here's the thing that last week we talked about UAP whistleblower Matthew Brown,
Mm-hmm.
and Matthew Brown he uses that word at least at one point, describes that we're living in a controlled
simulation.
reality.
That's not.
But not that it's a simulation. Like that's the thing. The Matrix, the part that's fantastical is that we're physically plugged into computers. That's not the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really right here. But I think I understand the world.
Yeah,
But I've
I mean,
only understood the things I've been allowed to know.
a lot of those concepts and a lot of concepts in general is a giant form of spiritual bypassing because realistically, none of that matters. In a sense, it's you are currently in the present having a human experience, and you still have to remember that you are a human being, even if you are a spiritual person, and you have to learn discernment. So, like,
discernment.
there's also not a hierarchy in spirituality, right? It's not a pyramid. It's a even playing field. And so good and bad is relative, right? What's good and bad to me is going to be different to you or whomever is listening. I mean, yes, there are things we generally agree on. But a lot of that is just, it's just bullshit. It is. It's a form of spiritual psychosis.
And do you notice that it's a lot of the same people that gravitate towards that kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And what are we going to do about them? That demographic of people?
Which specific demographic?
You know
of
who
people?
I'm talking about.
White people?
Specifically,
People like us?
Yeah.
But like white people that think wearing locks are okay?
But like waspy, like white ladies who are like, who go into their, I'm a medium now, or like I dedicated
No, because I think
my life to
I
yoga.
wholeheartedly believe that everybody has the ability to tap into those types of things, whether or not you... Because some people are just inherently have it. Like I've always seen dead people, but like there are people who actually have to study it and work towards it, and like there are even things that I have to do to heighten if I'm going to be doing a reading or channeling or anything like that. I have to do in order to get to a better place that I can hear messages more clear.
Yeah, this has come up a lot in my latest research.
Has it? I
just read a book called UFO of God, which is.
The fuck?
God damn it, Lucius! This is serious. It's by this guy. It's by this guy named Chris Bledsoe, who believes he has. He attributes like a holiness in a Christian way to these entities, these colorful light orbs.
Okay.
That he's seen throughout his life, and he has filmed. And he's also had profound experiences where he has been able to use his connection with these beings to target other humans for healing in a way where he doesn't feel like he's doing the healing, but he feels the presence of the entity and whatnot, all that kind of thing. And ties into the discussion we were having last week that maybe aliens, as we're observing them so frequently now, are higher beings. They're not just physically driving over here from Saturn or from
so you're saying
Alpha
like
Centauri.
a form of a god.
What? I mean, before.
I mean, no, because
before
they're not.
people
they're
could
not,
read, we just called them all angels or demons or gods or whatever, and that maybe they're the same things. The seraphim.
Yes and no. Because they're still also physical beings. Gods, goddesses, whatever,
Pure
egregores,
spirit.
anything. Yeah, it
the
is.
Catholic tradition
energy.
teaches that angels are pure spirit.
It's energy.
You got a beautiful spirit.
Pure spirit. Pure spirit.
Beautiful spirit.
Angels are pure spirit.
That's beautiful spirit.
But yeah, it's all energy. So like we contain energy, and when we die, the
Oh,
you
this
crack
is your
yourself up.
fault.
Did I get you too stoned?
That's exactly what happened.
You're welcome.
You
I had to
you
back
triggered me
up
with
off of
the
it.
with the beautiful spirit, and then Glorilla's accent came through.
Pure
me.
Did you see
Spur.
Glorilla's nose job?
No.
Did you guys
Ooh,
talk about
pull
it?
that up.
Pull it up.
Well,
Because
you
it
keep
bums
talking
me the
about
fuck
demons.
out.
I'm going to look up Glorilla's nose job. See, I usually only
You were
use...
talking about demons. I was talking about energy.
Oh, right. That's what I meant.
Don't insert your Catholicism into.
That's who I
Oh,
am.
insert your Catholicism.
Yeah, but that Pope though. Can we talk about it? I've never felt more Catholic in my life. In my
Oh
life.
yeah, with the election or the election.
Wait, explain this to me.
What is that?
Oh, God. Is this recent?
Yeah. Recent. It's that. Okay.
She had her nose and her breasts done, but still no BBL.
Well, go
Well,
for
I'll
her.
keep my fingers crossed. It doesn't look that crazy.
It's like that weird, like sunken in, pointed at
It's
the
just
tip.
sad that she would get as famous as she got with her old nose and then still feel like she had to change it.
Yeah. Well, people should probably like not talk about other people's
You know,
appearance
that's how
like
I feel
that.
about
You know what I
the,
mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Drag Race contestants when they come back for All Stars. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I
that
loved
tracks.
I loved your face.
Oh, girl, they get that check and they go straight to the filler, baby.
Straight to
Yeah.
the lips.
They fill it up,
Just
daddy.
the mouth, at least. I mean, but that's their livelihood. You know?
I totally
Yeah.
get it.
Your
I think
lips-
it's
your
cute.
lip syncing is
I
all
want
over
it.
the
Whoa,
mouth.
keep it PG.
I
This
would
is a
love-
family show.
I'm saying
Jake's a
lip
father
syncing.
now.
I'm saying
I would
lip
love-
syncing, like literally just talking on a stage and singing, mimicking somebody else's.
I
Yeah.
would love
Song.
some lip filler.
Why?
Because it looks fun when I see the guys with
You know
it.
how bad
on-
that shit hurts?
I know, I don't want it. You couldn't see it on me. I have a full beard. I've never seen someone with a bunch of lip filler with a full beard.
Have you guys
Can
seen
we
like
look that up?
people who get really bad threading done in their like face? Ugh.
I
couldn't.
would not be able to recognize it. But I would.
It literally is. They go under your skin and a thread,
Yeah.
and pull it back, and then put your skin back over
see,
it, and you can see it.
Kris Jenner's
Yes.
latest.
Look, and this is me
Facelift.
hating. We're all
Okay.
poor. We can't afford
Okay.
plastic surgery.
Absolutely
I probably
not.
would. I would
No,
probably
no,
get
no,
stuff
no.
Okay,
done.
I'm
You know what I
seeing
mean?
people are getting lip filler with a beard still. They're very low beards, though.
Yeah.
These beards are low.
You want to do lip filler before a hair transplant, though?
Why would I get a hair transplant?
Just asking a question.
Are you saying there's a reality where I would get a hair transplant?
Well, would you?
No.
So you would just go, we have a bald spot?
Oh, or I would just, I would just start buzzing it again. I buzzed it for years.
I'm
I've been
offended
buzzing
by
for
that.
Or what, like what I would, whatever your recommendation would be. But I mean, I don't really give a fuck to pretend to have hair if I don't have hair. I'm not going to go to Turkey
That's what
and
I-
get
that was what-
acupuncture in my
yeah.
scalp.
It's not acupuncture. God, that's crazy. Have you seen like the TikToks of people who go get that done
Yeah,
and then
it's
like the
plane
recovery
full
process?
of pin cushions on their way back.
The plane full of pin
Got a
cushions.
plane full of pin
Full of
cushions.
cushions.
Oh, fuck.
Emma,
I
this
have
is
to
what we
see
do
what
now.
this is.
This is
what
who we are now.
This is where
what
the
we do.
content is. This is why.
I
This is why you needed me on.
No, we
Yeah.
don't need you. We wanted you.
We want, yeah, it was a craving.
Yeah.
Ew, never, ever let that
I'm
come
on a
out of your
roll
mouth
today.
ever
I'm
again.
the king of ick today. What did I say earlier? Seed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You're
That's-
like, yeah. You're like
Who
batting
says
like a
that?
600.
I would never.
pervert?
I would never talk like that
Cringe
normally. I have a daughter.
You said it in front of your daughter.
I can't. Well, she doesn't know what I'm saying yet.
It's called the strain is Tropicana cookies. In case you're wondering.
Of what? Of the thing that you ruined my show with?
This is not ruined. This is
This is
fantastic.
No,
my
I
normal.
know. This is so therapeutic. That's the thing too. We should do like a smoke along ticker at the bottom
would be good.
that says at this point in the show we are currently
Let's think of the
sampling.
high,
If
yeah.
you're like Bob Ross when he would name all the paints.
Yeah.
Like if you're smoking along at home, we're on the tropical
And
cookie
listen,
dough,
Nick, tropical cookies,
tropical cookies.
and we just have it rolling by, and everybody
I just-
strain.
yeah.
Strain of the week.
Yeah, and then I'll tell them, okay, we're gonna sip Diet Coke in 3, 2, 1.
Good monetization. I have 3 plants going right now, and they're healthy.
That's
Healthy. We had 5. 2 of them are male, so we had to get them out of there.
Yeah, we had to let them
Get 'em out.
Yeah, you gotta get those roosters out of
You
there.
gotta get those
Out.
roosters out of the garden.
You know, because they'll attack you
They'll turn
I'm
on
saying.
you,
They'll
turn
like
on
just like
you
Little Shop of
faster than-
Horrors.
Yep.
faster than you can. Pluck
That was the
chicken's
problem.
feathers.
That was a pubescent Venus flytrap. That's all that was. Male plants are very dangerous.
Male plants.
Male plant. And don't you have my Ibanez too, you motherfucker?
I do, yeah.
God damn.
I'm just stacking it up. I have 2 items of yours, and I'm just
You're,
raking
you
it
know
in.
what? You're taking that baby home with you.
Yeah, I will.
I'll take her.
No, that's the thing.
My
Only if I
little
can bring her
girl.
back in 48 hours.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Oh, that's a
change
long
diapers.
time.
Yeah.
That's just,
No, for sure. But that's just like my cap, like as an
Oh, maximum.
as an uncle.
Oh,
You have,
yeah.
like, duties that I do, like for my family. Like,
no, I don't. I don't.
it's a solid 48.
That would be way too long.
I can give you a solid 48. You know what I mean?
In an emergency,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
With
but
our rapport,
I
feel
would
like-
never plan on that
feel
if I
like-
didn't have to, because that just sounds like
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I was complaining about.
I could do it though.
She's an easy baby too.
Yeah.
She's also an easy
yes,
baby.
literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Once she
you
starts
know-
talking, though, who knows?
I can't wait. I'm gonna teach her
It's
so
gonna be
many
nuts.
things.
I'm worried
She's
my
gonna
mom's
say
gonna
so
teach her to
much.
talk
I have
crazy.
a lot of
I
lot of
know.
training in chaos management. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that'd be good. And you you choose your words a lot of the time.
I do.
And whatnot. I don't have that privilege.
Mm-hmm.
And
You don't have that privilege.
or whatever.
Yeah,
I
no,
wish I
that
was
makes
more like
sense.
that. And I'm
Oh,
really worried.
interesting, yeah.
I'm worried my mom's gonna teach her to say fucked up shit.
She is.
And so
am I.
Okay. Yeah.
But like that's the thing. There's nobody.
Give her a little baby shank.
Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
People that would be offended by that stuff are all dead.
It's it's what makes
Like
it,
her parents,
like
like my in-laws are not like really conservative people with like that you can cuss
No,
in front of
yeah.
them. You can have conversations about normal stuff. You don't have to be delicate about it.
yeah.
They're not churchgoers or nothing. So,
Or nothing.
well, and I just see kids say and do the most horrible things every day professionally. That like,
Yeah, but think about the dumb shit we were doing back then too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's
know.
it's a nurture thing, you know.
Yeah.
Just look at your environment and what, like.
Yeah.
Those are different environments for sure. But you know, it feels like a hand that was dealt sort of thing. So I wouldn't be too concerned.
When I was a kid, they used to spray the neighborhood for mosquitoes.
They did do that. We didn't ride bikes behind it. That's
No, I
two
was
generations
afraid to be
before.
around when
And
they
then
were
that-
doing that. But then here's what really creeped me out. They quit doing it. I was fine with it when they were doing it because I'm
'Cause
like,
it's like, oh yeah, duh.
they
bad
this
for
has to
you.
be allowed. This must be the best possible thing if they're allowed to do it. And then they quit doing it, and I'm like, was that bad the whole time? Who knew it was bad the whole time?
Yeah.
Because that's upsetting when you find that out.
Yeah, that's
Would they recall some shit you used to be real into?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like cigarettes are bad, apparently.
Vapes are bad. Now everybody's going back
Vape-
to smoking cigarettes.
but-
Welcome back, motherfuckers.
I know. This is what I'm saying.
'Cause
This
I
is,
never
this
quit.
is worse,
'cause I know,
apparently.
they'll know how to treat my cancer.
You know what, though?
Y'all
I
gonna
do
have
realize
popcorn
the whole
lung.
thing is, though, I can't smoke cigarettes inside.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, but so I don't want to shoot the show outside. Okay, can I tell you a vision I've been having, though?
Yeah.
Of I want to do some kind of, it could even just be karaoke, but I want to host some sort of a open mic live stream at the corner of Grand and Gravois in the middle of the
Open-
day.
That is the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
I just
That
want to
is
have
one
a
of
table,
the biggest drug corners in St. Louis.
but I
City.
want those people to come by and say, hey, do you have anything you want to share with the stream? And we're out in the beautiful daylight.
Only if you do it like Billy on the street.
Well, I don't want to walk. He walks really fast.
get him
Can I tell you that my
What's wrong
whole
with
thing?
you?
The only
Get
reason we're not
murdered.
doing a
Yeah.
Billy on the street segment, like a man on the street thing, is
Yeah.
they walk too fast, and there's no pedestrians around here. If you see somebody walking, they have a dog and headphones on, or
Yeah.
you don't want to talk to them because they're not having a good day if they're on
Yeah.
foot.
I mean, it feels very exploitive, but
Exactly.
I think that
The live stream
well, it
does.
is one of Jake's
no,
ideas.
that idea of going onto the corner of Grand and Gravois and shoving a microphone into people's faces.
No, that's the thing. I didn't want to shove it. I mean, I definitely,
he wants to stand there and present anybody with the opportunity to
Billy
come
would.
up.
Billy would shove the mic in their face.
That was the
That's
one
what-
where
that's
that
what I
dude.
said.
and
That's what I said.
and that's why I don't want to do that. They walk too fast and they're shoving mics at people's faces. I want to I want to hold space. I want to hold live.
I don't think they want you to hold space for them.
Okay.
I don't
You
think
know,
they
if-
want their
if-
drug
if
dealers
it
live
feels
streamed.
good, if there's a fair trade,
There's a
if
kid-
a fair trade, then it feels good.
Yeah.
Then it
The
feels
ki-
good.
There's a kid in like New York or something that like makes beats with like a keyboard that he wears with like a backpack thing, and he has people come up and rap with his beat that he makes.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I thought it would be fun if we have. But you're saying it's a sensitive population down there, Grand
No,
and
I'm saying-
Gravois,
I'm saying-
and maybe I shouldn't ask them to
No, maybe
collab on a
no.
sick
I'm
beat.
saying there's a collaboration makes sense. A collaboration feels like an equal trade-off of like needs
But if
and
you
wants,
wouldn't-
supplies and demands.
If you're not already doing it off camera and you choose to pick it up while filming, then it's not genuine.
yeah, I don't know. Because
That's a good
who's-
point.
Who said that
I
they
mean,
don't
he
want?
he does give voices to some really shady people.
That's
Let's
the
be
thing.
quite
I've been
frank.
giving voices to psychotic people for years.
No,
Some
that's
of the
like- that's literally
craziest
the-
people with the craziest experiences of their lives, they use it to.
Sounds like my dating history.
Yeah, what they do is if the beat doesn't work out,
Yeah.
they say, "Well, thank you for your time. Do you have a lady I could date?"
Yeah.
And I'll say, "Call Emma."
Yep.
Emma, I got a fresh one down here. He's an aspiring rapper.
Great.
He's on his way out right now. He
fucking
could
hate
use a
musicians.
haircut.
I cannot stand you people. You
You'd be doing that to
people.
the people that to your loved ones, Jacob. You
Yeah,
can't-
it's yeah.
you can't-
I don't like hooking people up at all because
Yeah.
most of the people I know, I wouldn't recommend to anybody else. Or the inverse is the case.
Lucius isn't even paying attention.
I'm deep in thought with it.
About what, though?
I'm being reverent about.
Is that what you were doing?
Yes, I was trying to listen to what you were saying.
You were absorbing the word.
I was absorbing the word.
You're feeling the word this morning.
Yeah.
We need to start live streaming on Sunday mornings.
I wish I
No.
had the. Oh, you have to play
I don't have to do shit
the
anymore.
organ. I wish I
Oh,
had
yeah.
that would be a good organ moment.
Yeah. It's in my trunk because I'm playing at Platypus tonight.
Yep. Plug it.
With blinded by this will be out after that, but that'd be just a crazy turnaround. I bet you I could put the audio on Patreon.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. We just now ran out of clips of the last episode. That's really when we know it's time for one. It doesn't have to be an exact 7 days.
Those weren't really all quality clips either. You're just trying to put content out to get more.
Because there's a lot of time where I don't know what's going to happen. Like I don't know what's going to be popular. Like there's some of them that
I meant to text and be like, pull up that clip of me saying that the systems are breaking apart to rebuild new. Because then you said on that one episode that you heard some psychic, and I said, what other? I said that, but I didn't get any credit for it.
But
go ahead and roll that clip for me.
But I wanted to follow up on that because that's kind of where I wanted to start when I was talking about my friend Chloe, who's just a girl I met once in college, who's an Akashic Records reader now on TikTok. That it's been months and months since we've done one of these together, and astrologically speaking, where are we at in that cycle?
I mean, it's not going to happen overnight.
But
I think. Well, what do you think? What are you witnessing in current events that would lead you to believe that old systems were breaking down? You know what I mean?
So they haven't been yet.
Right.
A lot of threatening too. A lot of whistleblowing.
Yeah.
But no real deconstruction yet.
Well, I mean, because it's going to take a while. Unfortunately.
They did fire a bunch of people, so the tornado sirens didn't go off in St. Louis before the tornado a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, can we give a shout out to Action STL and For the Culture for really stepping up for the community? It's been fantastic.
It's a bummer they have to do so much of it themselves.
It is, but at the same time, why would we want the government in our communities to rebuild? Why wouldn't we want to rely on each other? A lot of people are like, where's FEMA? And not giving credit to the people. FEMA doesn't know these people in these neighborhoods. FEMA doesn't know the people that can't leave their homes because they physically can't walk or whatever, but they still need access to food and necessities.
Well, I've been absolutely sick. I heard people were going up there and stealing bricks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something to distract from all of the incredibly amazing hard work that St. Louis as a community has come together.
Yeah, it just bums me out because I want all those brick homes to stay brick.
Nobody's stealing bricks.
Good. Okay.
That was the concern, but no one is stealing bricks.
Because
nobody's stealing bricks.
I mean,
I'm so convinced that they are because of how much of a big of a.
There are plenty of other abandoned
there's plenty of places
derelict
that's the thing. There's plenty of bricks to steal.
Yeah.
And there's actually plenty of bricks to steal on properties that are not surrounded by crisis support staff of various kinds, first responders and whatnot. So, if you go out to Walnut Park, there's plenty of bricks nobody's keeping an eye out for. Let me tell you.
You just drive around South City. No, but Saturday, I didn't have power. I didn't have power for 24 hours, and then I had to work. But Sunday, I went with my new neighbor to their church and canvassed the neighborhoods, and that was incredibly heartbreaking. And my walking partner, she was like trying to get me to knock on doors, and I was like, you know what? I'm not the face that they want to see right now. I'm not the representative they want to see. I'm going to step back and be behind you, and I'll go ahead and take notes and ask any follow-up questions. But you are part of their community. They want to see your face because they know you.
Yeah.
And then on Monday, I went to the YMCA at 4242 West Florissant. And I just showed up, and I walked up to somebody with an Action STL shirt, and I said, hey, where do you need me? Where should I go? And I stood in one spot for 5 hours sorting donations, and they really need people now, especially during the summer, that are available during the day. I'm sure I will be going up there.
Do they need money too?
They need money. They're also, yeah, and you can go to actionstl.com, and there's a little pop-up that'll lead you to all the tornado stuff to make donations or the list of things that people need.
There's a landing page on STL.gov or whatever, the city's
if you
website
can't lift,
that
you can donate.
But we don't want to direct people through government websites. We're trying to get them to go to the actual nonprofits.
I'll update to Action STL.
Yeah.
I was just using the official one because I didn't want to offend anybody.
Well,
but now that I know what to do, you're my voice on the street. You have the ear to the ground.
You didn't ask.
You cut
Brother, I'm in
everyone's
the
hair.
street.
You know what they need.
No, I've actually been working very hard though. I appreciate a lot of people reaching out to me and asking for some sort of direction as to how to help. I will be doing donations for June. So if you're getting a service by me and you want to make a donation, you'll get 10% off. And then I at least am shouting out DB. Hold on, let me pull her up. There is a local designer who is doing a lot of awesome work when it comes to collecting money for donations to go out and buy stuff. It is dbrnd.stl. And they have a flyer pinned on their page that you can Venmo or Cash App, and they post receipts every day on their story.
And I'll try to put that across the bottom here.
Yeah. But also it's important to like celebrate the joy and find joy in activism. So if anybody is in this room that's getting overwhelmed by things, or like I went up and I was physically volunteering in person for 2 days, and then it all kind of hit me. And, you know, when you're up there, you don't want to make it about you because it's not. You know, like I was complaining I didn't have power for 24 hours, but I was like, but that's not that bad, you know? Like, thank God I didn't go to Trader Joe's that morning because that was the plan. I would have been furious.
Why?
Because I would have lost all that food.
Oh yeah.
Trader Joe's food? A Trader Joe's haul in this economy?
In this economy?
With no power?
Yeah. But so, I mean, and if you are going to go volunteer in person, put yourself aside and don't expect anything, because there is more of a game plan now, but this is kind of unprecedented.
That's
right?
the thing,
Yeah,
too.
totally.
If
So if you're
going to
go up there,
help,
don't complain that it's not organized
Right.
well enough for you.
It's not
You
actually
need to-
helping if they need to
Yeah.
do all this work to prepare for you to come help
Yeah,
them.
I literally walked up. I said, "What can I do?" She told me. I said, "All right, bet." Me and the other girl came up
On
with a game
God.
plan. I had my knife on me, so I was able to cut open big. So if you're going up there, take a knife or a box cutter to help cut open big donations.
Bring the gun.
To break down. Don't bring the gun. What
This
is
made
wrong
me
with
so mad. Did you see
What is
Amron?
wrong with you?
Did you see Amron was threatening to leave because
Bye.
they felt unsafe?
Yeah.
But it made me so mad because we don't have an option.
Right.
It's not like Chick-fil-A saying, I'm not going to put a Chick-fil-A here. It's like, okay, we'll put a Popeyes there.
Well, they weren't.
It's like you don't have that option with a
threatening
utility.
to pull business. They were threatening to pull out of the neighborhoods and say that they're not going to get done as quick because their safety overnight wasn't.
I want to say, fuck Amron.
Maybe the cops should have protected them, or
Yeah.
Amron should hire
Call the
security
police.
to help.
You have to
rebuild
connect the
fucking
power.
community.
The people will quit shooting at you when they have Wi-Fi again.
Yup.
If they don't have Wi-Fi, they're out in the street shooting.
Yup.
Ain't no AC, ain't no Wi-Fi. Guess what I got? Hollow points, bitch. Let's hit the block. Turn the power on. That's
Yeah.
how you clean up the streets, with PlayStation.
I think that you know this from experience.
When the power is out and it gets too hot down here, I'm shooting at the dumpster.
Yeah.
I'm in the alley because my property taxes are too high. I got bird shot that is no good for home defense, so I shoot it at the dumpster. It makes a lovely cascading noise.
So lovely.
Because ain't no Wi-Fi in here. Ain't no AC.
That was
I'm
the
going to
worst part.
sit
I
in
was
my
so
car.
hot.
I'm going to listen to Alex Jones. And I'm going to shoot at the dumpster because I'm
shoot you.
protesting because Spire and Amron got me fucked up.
Don't slander Spire on me right now.
Spire is the
you know
worst.
Spire, I'm in a good place with Spire right now.
You and Spire are working on an operation because you live around a bunch of Neanderthals. I have beef with Spire because when my wife was pregnant, they turned my gas off because I couldn't make an appointment with them for them to put my meter outside, which they should have done 20 years ago.
Well, that was actually on you because you were supposed to make that appointment.
When am I? Could they only work from 9 to 2 p.m.? They're not here when I go to work,
pregnant
and
wife
they're
was here.
and they're gone. No, okay.
Okay, you're gonna throw.
All right. Yeah.
Throw a pregnant wife in my face.
Hey, my pregnant wife,
Hey,
can you
just
call
let this guy
Spire?
into the basement really quick?
Hey, my beautiful
They're going to
pregnant
inconvenience
wife.
you for 1 hour.
Can you let-
while you're watching TV?
Can you let a
and being
convicted
pregnant?
felon with a high visibility vest into the house when it's nothing but you and the dogs and
I
our
would've come
beautiful unborn
over.
child? But nobody asked you.
Well,
I should have done that.
exactly.
So, but I'm okay.
To own that, own your
And to
part.
be fair, I left a very sassy voicemail when they cut my gas off, and the guy was here at 7 a.m. the next day.
I'm going to ask my friend with Spire if I can hear that voicemail.
Who?
If you can find it for me.
Who's your friend?
I don't know, the head of the guy who's working on my street.
It better not be Barton.
No, his name's Kyle, of course.
Barton is a smooth dude. He's got like dreadlocks. He had like a giant crucifix earring, and I love that.
That is your type.
Yeah, I love like a flamboyant Catholic guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Flamboyantly Catholic.
Yeah.
Just
like
gotta
throw it in.
pray.
I want the holy water to hit me in the face on Grindr. You know what I mean? I want to. Did you see?
He's like humming, "Oh God,
Isn't awesome." No, that's not a Catholic thing.
Well, I don't care, but it's contemporary Catholic
It's
at
good.
least.
No, it's a banger.
No,
Joe
for
loves
sure.
that song.
It may go.
Did
to
you notice
different-
Joe wears a little?
I saw.
a little crucipoo,
Yeah, I saw.
a little kerfuffle.
I saw.
They're like
And he
Episcopalian or
raised
something
you
though.
up on
What is it? What even is that?
That's the thing. That's the thing because
We're
it
still
goes
Catholic, we
because
don't
in my
know.
brain, just because of how I was raised. Again, I don't participate in this stuff. I don't donate to a church.
You weren't there. I feel
But
like I was
in my
talking about this
brain,
last night.
it's the one true religion, and then all that other shit.
Yeah.
I think Fox was raised Episcopalian,
See,
but they said they didn't
That's
like her.
like
They didn't like their questions.
Catholic, but sexy.
is it really?
I mean,
It's like Catholic light.
is it?
That one is Episcopalian.
Is there as much guilt?
Episcopalian, that's the red doors, right?
What do you?
Red
we have
Doors?
no idea. I promise you
Handmaid's
that.
Tale.
That's
No.
Jake's home.
No, look
What
at
are you
it. Look
talking
at
about?
Episcopalian churches like the one on Delmar, and there's one on Grand as well. They usually have pride flags out, and
Is
they're
it the-
red.
there's
No,
one in
that's
Tower Grove?
UCC.
Oh yeah, the UCC, but there's Episcopalian as well.
Now I gotta look at it.
Yeah.
They both do that.
No, the
Ooh,
UCC doesn't
never
do the
mind.
red doors. The Episcop, but yeah, they both are Catholic light.
How do you? Okay, I don't
Catholic
even know what letter it
acceptance.
starts with.
E.
It's a Episcop. It's like so many options. It's Episcop.
Episcopalians do not
Episcop.
have an established doctrine or dogma. Instead, our faith is grounded in our common life together as experience and worship and community, and united by our love of God and others. Well, that sounds like propaganda.
Sounds like a lie.
Yeah.
The noticeable differences are these: in the Episcopal Church, bishops and priests can be married. I've noticed this,
Okay,
which I'm for.
Sure.
It doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
it's a kink for some people. You know.
There's no centralized authority
Not me.
figure like the Pope. Okay, I'd rather
Okay.
have a Pope.
They don't have a pope. Is that what you said?
But women aren't allowed to be
confession
leaders.
is optional.
Oh.
It was mandatory in Catholic.
Oh,
Catholicism?
Yes. Absolutely.
married
it is.
couples are permitted to use responsible means of birth control.
Catholics not so,
So-
much.
So much, yeah.
No.
You're right. It is like Catholic light.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff doesn't bother me. The birth control, the
It goes down a little
I
bit
think
easier.
yeah,
It
the
could be
priests
worse.
getting
It
married
could
could
be
really,
worse.
Yeah.
I don't really understand the not letting people get married thing. Obviously,
And then the UCC is just like another step down, another watered down version of that.
yeah, UCC's
I
pretty
have a friend
progressive.
in Washington, Missouri, who is a UCC pastor, and he's an activist punk rock style, but traditional in the way. Bruce Springsteen is and like Dropkick Murphys are like his favorite
Ugh.
bands. Those are his influences.
I could never.
But he still preaches that way to like older folk though that still go to church like
Yeah.
in that Washington, Missouri like town and stuff. So I think he's a little like ballsy for
we
being
should
able to do
do
that.
we should do like a like a March Madness bracket of different denominations.
Okay.
and then what? Vote on it?
And
Or
then-
It'll give me and my dad something to talk about.
Yeah. That'd be a great way to have your dad on the show.
My dad's a
Yeah.
born again Christian, so absolutely not.
That would be good.
Under no
Yeah.
circumstances. will I have that
Because then you got
conversation.
to talk about just all the cultural differences because we have, Catholic and Episcopalian and UCC like we talked about just now. But then there's different kinds of Baptists.
What about Lutherans?
Oh, fuck. You know how I feel about Lutherans.
I know.
Step.
Lutherans are
Lutheran
like the
step.
Nordic alien species. Like they're
Nordic
like
for sure.
they're like the
Ellie's Lutheran, so that tracks.
but they have this thing that the Baptists have where they feel this direct
Feels a little,
connection.
Puritan as well.
yeah.
That's the
Puritan
thing. I
feeling.
felt like Catholic people that I knew growing up when I was grown when
Growing up.
when I was grown when I was growing up that the Catholic people I knew seemed to be like have more fun and
Yes.
the
but
Lutherans that
here's
I
the
knew
thing.
were really bothered by things that seemed fun.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing though. Outside of like here and other Catholic hubs, everyone hates Catholics.
What's that about?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
They just mad because they can't be us.
Maybe it's all the reverence, like the adorning.
Well,
of, like, they don't say they worship
I don't
any other
participate
idols, but
in
then
one
they
of
have,
these.
like, Mary and just maybe a little bit of hypocrisy kind of thing. I don't know.
I think a huge part of why you and I talk about it so much is
Yeah.
because, especially as children, especially
And you know,
especially
if Tim
before
were here, he would have straightened us all out. Okay?
yeah,
I'm sure.
Well, but that's
Sorry,
the thing
Tim.
is, it was so oppressive because it was so,
Yeah.
especially before 2008 or whatever, like back in the much more conservative times that we were born into.
Yeah.
The as fascist as everyone acts like everything is now,
It's always been.
but the cultural like weight of everything is just so different. Like you just don't have respect for anybody, so you don't feel this pressure to be perfect for the public or whatever.
Yeah.
But up until like 2010 or whatever, people were
Yikes.
very aggressively closeted and living their whole lives in secret. Barry Manilow didn't come out until he was 79.
Well, didn't Diane von
What?
Furstenberg's husband just come out?
Barry Manilow did not come out until he was 79. Kevin
I didn't even know
Spacey
that.
didn't come out until he got...
I wasn't invited to the party. I didn't know he came out.
Oh, yeah.
Lost the invite.
And then I think he died immediately after.
Well,
Barry
you know,
Manilow-
it happens like that.
Kevin Spacey didn't come out until he got arrested or whatever.
That was a pretty well-known secret that he was a gay.
Not to clueless straight white dudes. It was not.
That's fair. Okay,
Yeah.
but
It
how,
was-
how much information
There was
really
a
is
lot
going
of
on up
people's
there, though?
dads who were like, "What? Kevin Spacey, gay?"
I jerk off to him every night.
I was one of the. You know what I mean? Because that's what was crazy about American Beauty is like he thought it was weird that that other guy was gay, but he was
Yeah.
gay the whole time.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's not.
Jake does this all the time. He references movies around me as if I've seen them, and I do not watch movies. The only
she
movies
only
we watch
watches
is like horror movies.
sequels to The Leprechaun and Chucky.
Exactly.
Never the source material.
Actually, Freddy vs. Jason is one of my top 5 favorite.
I'm
horror
working
films.
on Alien versus Predator the musical.
Great.
Oh,
Didn't Bob's Burgers do that?
They better fucking not
Was
have.
it there? Am I
I've been
wrong?
joking about
I have
that
no
for
idea.
years.
Oh, I need a Bob's Burger fan immediately. I think it's like a subplot in an episode at like the
I
kids'
think
school.
if you play the ukulele, one appears.
I have a ukulele right over
Please
there.
don't
Okay.
encourage it. Don't harsh my
Emma does
vibe.
not like live instruments.
I don't. I don't. And that's okay.
Have you guys heard about Slam Frank?
No. Did you send me a TikTok about it?
There's a song called Alien versus Predator the musical, so I'm gonna have to sue him. Suing him.
Considered.
Cease and desist. I don't see Bob's Burgers, but I'll keep looking.
I'll look into
But what was the other thing? Freddy versus Jason would be a
Yeah.
great musical.
it. Freddy Versus is a band
I play with them all the time.
of who? Yeah,
They have a guy
I
that-
play guitar too.
Yeah.
I just know those guys.
And oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's one guy's brother or whatever.
Yeah.
Praise God. And my thing is, what would Jason's singing voice sound like?
I feel like
If you had to
Jason would have
cast
a low
somebody to
voice.
do the
It would
soundtrack,
sound like fucking
but like through a hockey mask though.
whoever the fuck the
Bane.
Kennedy.
It would sound like
sound like fucking Robert.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
F. Kennedy.
No, I don't. No. No. You ruined it. You're ruining it. You're ruining the whole thing for me.
I think it's actually funnier because
That's what he's going to do
like
next.
what he's gonna do next.
When he gets
There-
outed from this administration at some point for
When's he
whatever
gonna come
reason,
out?
he's going to, yeah, that'd be great.
There's this
He's totally built like that with all those
TikTok
shirtless
account.
selfies. I'm like,
God.
old straight guy would never
He's
take
so
that many
gross.
shirtless selfies.
There's this TikTok account of a gay guy saying how like Donald Trump was born a gay man and like using audios but like mimicking them and you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
And it's the only way I can tolerate hearing that fucking turd's voice because it's spot on.
Mm-hmm.
It's spot on. You can't tell me that's not a gay man. And you can't tell me that Melania isn't his dom.
They're,
By the way,
I think I heard
you
they're
can't
separated.
tell me
Did I
that
read that they're separated?
He is not some like little pay pig sub.
Pay pig.
Yeah,
And
I
that
think
bitch
she's
clocks
got-
in and out to get her money.
I mean, she's like the lady stormtrooper.
Also, did you guys
Captain
talk about
Phasma?
Bill? Have you guys talked about Bill Belichick's girlfriend?
I'm waiting for you to bring this up because
you?
yeah,
Look, ladies
her
and
name
gentlemen,
again?
I don't care.
he's
She's-
72.
Christine F.
She's doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
He is a fully grown man. Stop infantilizing him.
Yeah.
If something is going on with his mental health that is his to take care of, he obviously is trying to get that young puss. And she said, bet, write that fucking check up for
And
me.
can I say two things?
Why are we hating on her game? She's not. She's a home
And
wrecker.
can I say two things about this? One, she's not that young.
Right, exactly. Ooh.
She's literally an adult.
She's literally, she could have a master's degree right now.
18-year-old girl.
At a normal, steady 15 credit hour a semester pace, she
But
could
that
have
bitch
a
has-
master's degree or two by now.
So much money now. And set for life.
And you know what? If you want to control what he's doing, you could have given him a job for the last 10 years where I've had to hear about he can't find a job. Or you could fuck him. All these people.
Fuck them.
I didn't get the opportunity. You notice he didn't ask me. Because it be slurpy derpy, bitch.
Slurpy derpy.
Well, and also, like, why are we making a big deal out of it? Like, it is what it is. Older wealthy men date younger women
not a
all the
scandal.
fucking time. It's not anything
Yeah,
new.
make him stop.
and
make him stop.
he's not a victim. He is not a victim.
He's not a victim of anything.
at all. He's actually getting exactly
Yeah,
what he wants.
He's going to be great. And if he has kids, I
as
hope
long
they
as
get
his
nothing.
kids are set up and she
Okay.
gets her cut, why are we mad?
If I'm not getting my cut,
Just say that you're
Gotta
mad,
catch
you're
his hand.
poor, and you can't pay
That's what I'm
hot
hearing.
bitches to fuck you.
That's what I'm hearing.
Just say
I'm
mad,
hearing,
you're poor.
Hey, that's not. I don't want to see the rich guy with the younger pretty lady because I'm poor.
Because I can't have that either. Well, you could if you had a better
sounds like
fucking
a Hall &
attitude
Oates
about
song.
it.
you're a rich guy.
You're a rich guy and you like young girls, which I'm not for. If her age starts with a 2, she's too young for you. But I think
You're
this
29.
no 20.
Well, wait, yeah.
20 if that person is
25 and
29
under
and
is
they're
the
not
difference.
already.
Little-
If the difference starts
But
with
here's
a
the
2.
thing: if you meet somebody who's available and they're 29 and they're not in the middle of something important, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
I just like, and now as an adult, like it being just turned 34, like
You look
I'm
good.
like, thank you. Thank you.
yes.
But like when I was 18, I was banging 34-year-olds. You know what I mean? I'm like, what were
Yeah.
you doing?
What were
I was
you
on
doing?
Hinge and I matched with some, I think he was 23, 21, 23.
Ooh.
And his first line was like, do I know you? Because, you know, I haven't sat in Eugene. And he's like, I know you from somewhere. And I was like, no, you don't. Unless like this is a pickup line and I'm just being autistic about it. But, and he was like, were you a teacher? And I was like, first of all, what teachers do you know that have face tattoos, sweetheart? Second of all, what? Like, I was just, why would I match with you if you were my student? At one point.
Could it be a bot?
No, it's a dumb person.
Yeah. He wasn't, he was a,
He's not a robot. He's just dumb.
he was a football player. So yeah, a college football player.
But you're older than him,
Significantly.
and so he thought you were a former teacher.
I just could. There's nothing mental stimulation going on there. It would be purely physical. You know what I mean?
which is fine.
Because
That'd be
texting with
really funny
him
if it
was almost like texting with my 15-year-old.
This is something I'm working on planning with some friends of mine that I need some input on. Is kind of a panel discussion between a couple of us that'll represent millennials and a couple of people I know that are interested in being on the show who are Gen Z, who are of age. They're young adults now, but they reached out to my friend about wanting to do this. So some things that the younger people that maybe you interact with on these apps and stuff sometimes on accident.
Okay, don't make me sound like
No.
I'm hunting for younger men.
No. But the cultural divide is stark, is it not? Isn't there some kind of a difference? Do you attribute to just the maturity, or is there like a specific thing in
I
time?
did just haven't. It's not enough life lived yet. You know, it's not that I don't respect your opinion. It's not that I don't
That's a good way
value
to put
your
that. Not enough
opinion.
life lived.
But
Not
like,
enough life
yeah,
lived
of course,
yet.
when I was 22, I
Put that on
thought,
a
you know,
bracelet.
X, Y, and Z. And now that I'm 34, I'm like, yeah, I was wrong. You know, but like when you're in your early 20s or even your mid 20s, sometimes like you don't have the ability to be like, oh, you know what, I was wrong, my bad. And a lot of
Yeah.
adults don't either. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see
gotta
that
meet
much of
them
a
where they're at.
difference. Yeah, absolutely.
Good. What are some issues we may argue about the most in that case? If I was going to host a debate of sorts between...
Jake, I'm your wokest friend. So, I don't know, probably fashion, because they all look real fucking dumb.
Yeah,
they look real dumb.
Let's point out some specifics.
Sorry.
Because in the clips, I can put a picture of what we're talking about. What are some specific items we're talking about?
Like 90s fashion in general is not a vibe for me, even though I regularly wear flannels, but it's not like to pull off like a grunge look. It's just because I like oversized
thing
things.
with the big pants is kind of crazy.
They're going a little
nuts with the... Do you remember the woke jeans from SNL?
No.
They were pants that looked bad on everybody equally. It was like an ad for jeans that were like brown and disgusting and lumpy, and they looked bad on everybody. And that was the joke. But that's what that reminds me of. Like when it's like they have like a drawstring belt on like pants that it looks like they're sneaking out of like a facility. They stole a security guard's outfit.
Yeah. Well, and some of it, I mean, I don't know. I feel like... I don't know. I can't really say, because I think in general overconsumption is bad, but I feel like our generation kind of did it for popularity's sake. Like, I mean, we kind of started influencers, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the people older than us could never figure out how to work those phones.
We had brick phones for a long time, so...
I could text on a brick phone while driving with the phone in my pocket. I didn't even have to look at it because it had like Braille. I could play Snake.
That was the only game on the phone, wasn't
I could play it, though. Let me tell you, brother. What about the stuff you read about the dating culture being in such a decline, and that people just aren't dating nearly to the extent people certainly aren't spending as much on food and bev?
But why is that an issue? Because it seems like a lot of people are, instead of dating, they're dating themselves, and they're learning to get to know themselves, which is so much more important to get into a partnership with somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I've been single for 2.5 years and haven't really been actively dating until recently, and that's like just dipping my toe in. So it's like, it's not like I'm full on like going
just
on dates and things yet.
Just the tip.
Yep. JTT.
Of the toe.
Oh,
Tippy
Jonathan
toes.
Taylor Thomas.
Ooh, you fuck Jonathan Taylor Thomas? That would be awesome. That would be such a good get for me. If
I would do that for the
Listen,
plot.
if you're watching this and you've ever slept with Jonathan Taylor Thomas,
let us know in the comments.
Email us at jacobvweekly@gmail.com.
Sound off. We're trying to get you on.
I'd love to just talk to you about it for 5 minutes. I'll Venmo you $6 if you talk to me for 5 minutes about Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Thomas from the Tool Time.
Taylor Thomas.
On the Tool Time, Taylor Tim.
Yikes.
Yeah, one of the
I don't think it's a problem, though,
foundational
you know? Like,
crushes.
Yeah, I do agree that, like, I would have just waited for more of my life to be figured out before I spent so much time and money worrying about dating and all that. I was just, like, I just felt like I didn't have self-worth if I didn't have proof that I could maintain a relationship of some kind. And that is a dead end.
yeah.
Because the relationships that were the hardest for me to do that in, I don't miss being in now.
Right.
It was a long time ago. So but I worried about it so much. I should have been hustling and grinding. We should have started this podcast in 2010.
Yeah. What the fuck
That would have been a
doing?
nightmare. We were all still drinking then.
That's the thing.
We got canceled.
Yeah, or I mean,
Not in that.
we'd forget to hit record half the time. Probably.
That's very
We'd
true.
be too fucked up. We'd be like, we've been sitting here drinking and screaming about George Bush for 6 hours, and nobody hit record.
Yeah.
We didn't get any of it. That's what that would have been like. And that's the thing too. My life is just better without alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I used to afford it.
I don't need. Well,
I'd have to make life choices. If I was going to go buy a bottle of nice tequila right now, I'd have to make decisions.
yeah. Yeah. Do you know, I have so much champagne in my house. It's ridiculous. But no, I think
Mimosas for days.
think that it's becoming more popular and more socially acceptable to like get to love yourself and be whole and be a better version of you, because you should always be growing and evolving. Nobody's ever perfect. Before you decide to enmesh yourself in someone else's life, and especially if you have kids, like that's
Yeah.
if I ever date anybody that has kids again, I will have to be engaged to them before I really get to know their children, because that's just something, I mean.
Yeah, it just seems messy.
Yeah.
To risk meeting multiple people.
Yeah. Well, and developing relationships.
Yeah.
And then how do you continue to have a healthy relationship with that person's kids if you guys are no longer together and it was a tumultuous relationship? You know what I mean? Like, and it's hard.
So there's two things I wanted to talk about. One of them is that this thing that like older millennials and Gen Xers are doing, where they have a marriage and instead of getting divorced, they form this complicated network of poly relationships.
Don't talk to me up.
It's a mess. But here's a different thing that people are doing. That what they'll do is, if they split up but they want to still co-parent, they keep the kids in the house.
Oh yeah, and they rent an apartment.
And the parents rotate out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so when it's your night with the kids, you're at their kids' house with the kids.
Yep.
And when it's my night with the kids, I'm at the house with the kids.
Yep.
Which
I think is awesome.
But we
I
don't
think
live
that's
there
great.
together.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I think if that works for you and that works with your dynamic in the relationship, and that
because you're not just moving the kids around once when you
Right.
get divorced, you're moving them every week with their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that makes them feel like an inconvenience.
Well, and especially if one parent's house isn't, as
nice or as well
it's not
equipped.
even, yeah, exactly. I mean, if
whatever
they're
the
not
thing
getting what
is,
their needs are at one
it
home,
makes way more sense.
yeah.
I don't remember how exactly, like, it's easier for rich people to do this because you can have as many extra condos or whatever as you want. But like the situation where I thought I felt a drip. I do not want that to happen. Yeah. I do not want to feel a drip. It could be nothing. It could be
It was the
nothing.
ghost.
And it could be nothing. Yeah. And but that, like, I don't remember the situation I heard about, like, where the other parent went, because I don't know if they both had, maybe they both stayed with other people. That's what it was.
Yeah, like if they have significant others.
Yeah, it's like when I'm not with the kids, I'll go stay at my mom's.
Yeah.
And then, I'm not experiencing any of this. It's not relevant to me. I just get really upset. Like when you have a baby, you realize like the parts of it that are really easy and natural, and your impulse is to, protect and nurture them.
Yeah.
And so when you reflect on times where maybe that wasn't happening at all times for you, you get mad about it.
Mm-hmm. You get downright mad.
And being mad
Oh,
or angry is a very valid emotion.
And when
Valid.
you're allowed to be
And these
angry.
people, they get old and they get all sweet and kind and gentle, and they don't walk so good.
That's not my experience.
That's how it's been my experience. And so when I go to say, hey, how come, I'm like, oh, look at this sweet, beautiful old person. I'm not going to fuck them up.
No.
Every
Yeah,
time
look
my
at me
chair
weird.
does that, I think it's you farting, which is crazy.
Absolutely not.
I know, but it's happened like 4 times. It's my
You-
chair.
It's
You farted in my living room and it lingered.
I know, that's
On my birthday.
It's not okay that I did that.
In
You're
front
too
of my
comfortable.
salad.
You're too comfortable near me.
So
Should we pause and go smoke?
no, absolutely not. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah. If you're on the smoke with us journey right now, we're about
We're-
34.
I'm losing it.
Percent.
I'm losing the high.
Really?
Yeah. I smoke marijuana.
I smoke marijuana.
I'm an adult. Okay? I don't get
If it's
high
something I'm
before
gonna do
work.
with it, if it's one
If
thing,
those
I'm at
people
home
think they're
I'm
going to get in
a
and I don't have
between
shit to
me
do,
and my
I'm getting
kids' Christmas
high.
presents, they can kiss my fat
you.
vagina.
going right on up there.
Unbuttoning your
I had
pants
to undo my
near
belt.
me.
I had to undo my belt.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with you?
I need a whole new wardrobe. I need a whole new bespoke wardrobe. I need $100,000 in cash, small, non-sequential, unmarked bills.
I could use 10 grand tax free right now. That would do a lot.
I need 10 grand just to pay taxes. Can I get an amen?
Hey, man.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa.
Don't he do?
Won't he do it? Won't he do
That was
it?
the awkward thing being around a church group, though, is that they were playing like church music, and my partner was like getting it, and I was like, I don't know any of these.
Yeah.
You just got to feel the rhythm.
I don't.
You gotta just feel the bass.
You just got to groove.
That's what I would do. I'd be like, fuck this. You guys got any Bon Jovi? Is this whole keg non-alcoholic? This party sucks. If I hear Awesome God one more time. That is a good one, though. There's a lot of versions of it.
Never heard it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for not arguing me about that.
No.
Yeah.
So, what should we be looking forward to on the horizon as we go into summer? We understand that there are systems that need to be broken so that we could rebuild a more ideal coexistence. But, however, right now, how do I keep myself from going crazy?
Well, I think you and I are good because Cancers and Capricorns are heading into a year-long transit. I don't remember what it was. I just had this conversation the other night. But, I mean, what everybody has to look forward to is finding joy in their own lives. Like,
Smaller
you can't
focus.
Yeah. There's literally nothing we can do about what's going on in the world right now other than use our voices, spend our money consciously, and with companies that are going to support everybody and not roll back programs just because they're scared. They're scared. But find joy in your daily life. You know what I mean? Find things that you're grateful for every day when you start spinning the fuck out. And you're allowed to spin out.
What if I don't want to?
Here's the thing that people need to be doing. You need to quit worrying about non-fungible tokens and crypto and politics. You need to raise your children.
No, what everybody should be doing right now, quite frankly, is learning to build community. I hear so much of this, like, it's not left versus right, it's up versus down. And like, yes, but I'm not going to be arm in arm with a bigot. I'm not going to associate with that. So people need to start unpacking their own internalized racism or blatant.
What if it's just like,
what if I just don't
Bigot
know?
Bob's just walking down the street and
Bigot Bob's not allowed to be part of my community.
Does his shirt say Bigot Bob?
No.
In an emergency situation, I've seen some problematic companies raising money for relief for North City, and they need all the help they can get. That's not my place to take money away from those people in that community.
Yeah, totally.
But if I, let's take my apartment building, for example, right? Like, I'm very tight with my upstairs neighbors. Next door, we're good friends. She was over at my birthday party. You met her. Our new tenant is very good friends with my upstairs neighbor. You know what I mean? So we really have a good community. In fact, we were just at a block party and people were like, wait, your building sounds awesome. And we were like, yeah, it is. We've worked very hard at that. Like, we have a community garden. We have chickens. We all cook for each other. And there's one person in the building that we no longer assist with, help, anything, because he has treated all of us terribly and doesn't care. He's not community minded. So even if we do nice things for him, he still spits in our face, metaphorically.
Yeah.
So fuck you. I'm not helping you anymore because you're not doing anything but making my life worse.
Well, and it starts to feel unwelcome.
Yeah.
If that's how he responds, maybe he doesn't want help. Maybe it agitates him for some reason that we don't know about. So we have to leave him alone. And it's his loss, is what I mean to say.
No, absolutely. It is 100%. I mean, it's got to be lonely and isolating. And, but I've built a really wonderful community. And even in my own neighborhood, like, we as a neighborhood have all really come together to help each other. There's a woman in our neighborhood who is on oxygen. And so when the power went out, we had to, I think somebody was like, oh, I have a generator I can run over so she can charge it enough so that somebody can take her to the hospital to make sure she's good. And, just taking care of one another in a not like next door app way where it's like, I heard gunshots. Yeah. There's a black boy walking down the street.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow. In the city. Wow. Crazy. That's so wild that a black person is allowed to walk down the street. You fucking bitch.
Yeah.
But find your community and really work on doing good, not just for you, but for other people, because there are certain people that I will not help in the coming years. I won't.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. you had every opportunity to not make a bad choice and you still made that choice.
Yeah, like and the doubling down. It's
And here's
it's not very nuanced. The people that we're
Yeah.
talking about that are really a problem have made very public statements over and over again that they hate people that we care about.
Yep. And I don't even have to care about you. I don't want to see somebody else harmed or not have the same. I mean, you can't have
that's the thing
equality
too.
without
It's been reduced
equity.
so much. It doesn't
Yeah.
even have to be groups that I'm sensitive to. You know what I mean? Just the fact that they're so publicly aggressive towards often targeted protected groups.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so there are people I'm not going to help. You know what I mean? I'm not. Well, fuck you, die slow. Like I really don't care, quite frankly, because you voted against me having rights. So why would I want you to have anything nice?
Yeah,
but
it's not
there
the
are
state.
people that I am, or people know that they can reach out to me if they need help with things, even if it's just to give them space to talk about whatever they need to talk about. You know what I mean? And I'm not out here filming it. Like we need to stop documenting these things and just doing things for genuine human connection, because we've lost so much of that.
There
with
has
the
been some of
advancement
that
technology.
too.
Yeah.
A mutual friend of ours works with somebody who totally like took a camera crew to go have photo ops down at the wreckage, but didn't even bring. These are people in the food business, and they didn't even bring food with them.
Yep.
They just went like with
Like,
like
oh my
a
God,
clean,
look what
perfectly
happened.
clean, brand new hard hat for a photo op.
Oh, on TikTok, I was starting to post Action STL's website link and say, if you can post devastation in the neighborhoods, you can also post resources for people to help.
Yeah.
Like stop using an underfunded, marginalized community for trauma porn, for clicks and views and likes, especially if you look like us.
Yeah.
We're white. If you're listening and you didn't know.
And a part of the problem is a lot of people that look like us abandoned a lot of these places that have been hit the hardest by this most recent tornado, for example. And if it hit Frontenac, we wouldn't have this problem. Ameren wouldn't be arguing with people about leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not, I mean.
And that's always bothered me.
At a certain point, you have to look around and say, okay, what am I actually doing to like better even just the immediate world around me?
Yeah.
I had so many people be like, oh my God, you went and volunteered. I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't posting about it. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, hey guys, what's up? Super sweaty.
And there's so much of that going on that doing it and not posting about it feels like really exciting.
Well, I don't post that much on social media anyway. Like I've gotten to a point now where I'm just like, I don't want people
saying,
knowing
I'm
what's
going
going
to
on
just
with me.
do something good and really have a connection with people that really need some help and do a little physical labor and whatever.
Well, and so many people, I will say, are scared to go just volunteer and help because they don't know anyone there. And I absolutely had that feeling too. But get over yourself. You know what I mean? Although I did have a neighbor say that, and she was like, wait, are you going to go volunteer? Do you mind if like we go together? And I was like, not at all, but it's not about any of that. I mean, I had great rapport with the people around me. Like it was a wonderful time and a moment of sadness, but these are also good people that need their community back.
And you're not there to hang out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And even like 4 or 5 hours makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a lot done in that amount of time.
Even donating $10 to any of the organizations at this point
stacks up pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. But not even just in a disaster situation, though. Like in general, start getting to know your neighbors, start getting to know the people around you, so you can know who is part of your community and who needs assistance. I mean, a couple of your neighbors now because of the baby, but do you know like regularly what they need?
No. I would check on them in specific ways to think. I mean, I don't know their exact medical limitations or.
Well, you don't need to know their whole medical record.
No, not their whole records. But I'm thinking like nobody that I'm thinking of that's in my immediate it's 2 houses really. I'm only helping these 2 houses.
That's true. Yeah.
I got one here. I got like 7 organisms living at this house that I know about. You know what I mean? Not to mention all the secret critters. And then so I got an older couple next door. I don't think they're on anything like oxygen or something like that.
No.
That would be a problem. I'm sure the gentleman next door has the sleep apnea just because it's genetic.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So we will all be plugged into all the dads will be out back, plugged into the generator to sleep.
Yeah.
But I'm also really lucky that have the kind of neighbors that I would even want to know.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
They're
that makes such a difference.
Not only are they so
my,
sweet and
Yeah.
like I feel safe here at home or whatever, but just the fact that they're even like decent enough people that I would even care to know them is most people don't have that luxury.
No. Well, it's not a luxury. I mean, you should get to know the people
You should
around
work on
you.
that. It's a blessing that I have, I can text both of my neighbors right now and say, hey, are
absolutely.
you okay?
Well, you know how close I was to my old neighbors that lived upstairs,
Yeah.
and when they moved, I was very
Oh, that's a
concerned.
bummer. Yeah,
but
losing
then
a
got
good neighbor is hard.
two awesome friends out of it, and Archer got a new best friend. So
It'll ruin a neighborhood. We used to have a guy that ran all the block parties and shit, and he moved a few blocks away. Mm-hmm. That means he's doing block parties on a different block.
yep.
That's too bad. I put forth the effort to get to know my neighbors. I have like a 4-family flat
Yeah.
apartment, and I gave them Christmas gifts. Like
Nice.
little tiny hey, what's up?
The neighboring dogs got Christmas gifts from
even
Archer.
like the weird guy downstairs that kind of like hides in the corners,
Yeah.
and is like.
Well, it's just doing
backwards.
something kind
Like-
out of your way for the
and-
people around you, and like that's going to make things so much better. I mean, I got Spire on lock. I got Spire on speed dial. What you need with Spire, because I've been
Well,
so
we're
nice
good
to
now
them.
because
I made
they
them
held me
cookies the other
hostage
day.
when my wife was pregnant.
But I made them cook, like they're hanging out in our neighborhood, and I don't want to be a nuisance to them. Like they're just trying to do their job.
Yeah.
I
And
do try to do that.
deal with bullshit day in and day out. So like, yeah, I'll have like rapport with them, or they know they can come sit on our lawn because like I'm cool with it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And they accidentally dug up some of my flowers, and I panicked. I went into fawn mode, and I was like, no, it's fine. It's totally okay. And the one guy was like, no, just text me what they were, and we will replace them for you and probably get you more than what you had because it's for Spire.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Okay, thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah, thanks.
I really needed that.
Thanks.
I guess we should start wrapping this up.
I guess.
I guess.
Thank
Sheer
God.
Hair on Instagram, jacobv.com, patreon.com/jacobv, caddyshackil.org. Caddyshack has more kittens than ever. It's a very busy kitten season. And if nothing else, consider helping them. You could give them $5. Mm-hmm. It goes a long way. Anything else? ActionSTL.com.
Yeah. It might be .org, but they're at ActionSTL on Instagram.
Yeah,
is the best
Action
way
STL if you really want to get in on how to support the
or for the
tornado.
culture.
Yes, correct. Tornado relief, not support the tornado itself. I don't want to see that motherfucker again. We love you. We'll see you next week. Once you mention